Yeah, yeah. We just chillin' and vibing. Good conversations with good people. Oh. Good conversations with good people. Yeah.
Welcome back to another Chilling Environment episode. On today's episode is extra special, man. We got a multi-talent country artist, an athlete, and he blends heartfelt songwriting with infection melodies. He dropped his debut album, A Shot of Country, single like Honky Tonk Down Yonder, Karma, and San Diego Cowgirl. I might listen to that one right there. But anyways, y'all give it up for Riyad Mitchell, man.
Appreciate
What's
y'all.
happening, big dog?
Shoot, not much, not much. It's working.
Hey man, welcome to Chilling Vibe, man. We're glad for you to come and show on the show.
Happy to be here, man. Let's
Yes,
get
sir, yes,
after it.
sir. So we're gonna get into it, man. So your album called "It's Shot of Country," man. Like, what inspired you that? Like, what inspired that name, and what
Yeah,
like emotional moment were you aiming to capture that?
right. So with the whole like production with an album, normally you have like a title track, right? That the album kind of named after. And so I actually had A Shot of Country was the last song I had written. I knew I wanted that to be the title of the album though, because I thought that title was sick. I thought like, if you can always put country in an album, especially a country album title, all right, that's a check. And then, you know, I always say country folk love to drink. So a shot of country, I just felt like when that connected and I saw that no one else had came out with something like that, I was like, oh, that's
Right,
money. That's money. So I was working a long time on that song in particular. That was like the longest song I've had to like work on. Normally, when I'm writing a song, the pen just flows. That one was a pain, probably because I put a lot of pressure on it. Because I'm like, it's the title track song; it needs to be the best song. But ultimately, I just felt like if I could combine what two things or country, the word country, and some alcohol somehow, it'd be a good title. So,
respect, respect.
so
So, Real, when did your music journey start, man?
yeah, so shoot, really this time last year. I've just been at it for a year. It was the so I guess last NFL draft, not this past one, but the one before that, had concluded, and I had yet to hear from any teams at the time. And so, I'm a workaholic, so you can only work out though so much in the 24-hour span. And so, especially in a situation being a free agent where you don't know if an opportunity is going to come, when it's going to come, it could be very taxing on the mental. And so, I have always kind of been artistic in the sense of wanting to like express myself. I was always like a good writer growing up, and so I couldn't sing though. That was not in my repertoire at the time.
Right.
That was not it. Never even thought about singing. I just kind of liked country music, and I knew I had a deep voice, a unique voice. So I was like, you know, again, I can only work out 6 hours a day, so there's another 6 hours I could be doing something. And so this time last year, I got into music and I guess into the industry and whatnot. And then yeah, about a month ago, released that first album. So it's doing pretty well. Didn't know what to expect from it, but on all platforms has over 20,000 streams. So we're heading in the right direction for sure.
Man, you started as an athlete. How does that mindset and sport feed into your creative process in music?
Definitely. I think being an athlete, having that work ethic, honestly, is the only reason that I was able to even get to making an album. A lot of times people, artists might make an album and that's the only one they complete. I already have my whole second album already written. Gonna end up recording that and all that good stuff. But just working as an athlete, especially one that wants to be the best, not just your average Joe and someone that's just there to put on a jersey. Like every time I stepped on the field and when I step on the field again soon, it's I want to dominate, and that's the same mindset that I've taken over into the music industry. And I know, like I said, just started doing music a year ago, so I know I got a long ways to go. But man, I'm telling you, I'm getting better, putting in the reps every day. whether it's writing, singing, playing the guitar. So I look forward to that chapter of my life, especially once the cleats are officially hung up.
Real. So where you originally from?
So I'm originally from a city called Norco, California. It's actually Horsetown, USA. So if you Google Norco, I mean, it's all shoot. I grew up just surrounded by dairy farms. Right now, though, it's a lot more urban now, as time's kind of gone by, which kind of sucks, but is what it is. Got a lot more neighbors now. But I'm originally from Norco, California, which is like in the Inland Empire. And I know if you're not from California, when I say that term, a lot of people are like, "What? Like, what did you just say? Like Inland Empire?" So if you have California, right, Southern California, right, say the very bottom you have San Diego, about an hour up north from there is where I'm from.
A lot of artists collaborate. So who's your dream feature, your co-writer, and why?
Dream feature, man. I mean, I'm a fan of all music,
Mm.
and especially obviously country because that's what I do. But like, it's so hard to be like dream feature. I mean, if anyone wants to get on a song with me, I'm happy and I'm fortunate for it. I guess I would always whoever's the top at that time, that's who I want to be on one of my songs. You know what I'm saying? So right now, especially in country music, it's debatable, but most people would probably say Morgan Wallen's, the number one country artist, and so that would be a dream, if that could happen sometime in the future, that'd be awesome. And then as far as co-writes, man, there's a lot of talented writers out there. I really like Riley Green, um, artist out of Alabama. He just the way he writes a lot of his own stuff, which is something I also like to do. And just how he's able to story tell is something that I like to that inspires me to become a better writer. So if I could write with him, that'd be awesome. It's like Morgan and it's Luke, in my opinion. Those are the Cody Johnsons right there. I mean, man, I could talk
Okay.
about country artists for days. It's tough.
Respect,
So
respect.
Real,
Mm-hmm.
what is your writing process like? Like what do you write about? Do
Yeah.
it be experiences or just random thoughts?
Yeah, that's a good question. When I'm writing, most of my songs are legit like experiences. For instance, the first ever song I came out with was called Karma. It is now the second highest song I have streamed, um, after A Shot of Country. But that was like I love that song because one of like kind of how I wrote it. I feel like if you can really like follow it and really like picture it in your head, it's really good song from that perspective. But yeah, I try to always write my songs from like lived experiences, and that's why I got hopefully fingers crossed, God willing, got some more years to go where I can experience more things and pull from those experiences. So when I'm writing, I'm really trying to pull from personal experiences, and then like this next album I'm working on, some of there's some exaggerations here and there within some of the songs, but I think they're making for a better quality product, especially coming from my last record.
Respect, respect. Hey man, after a long day at the studio, man, like, what's your vibe? Like, do you have a go-to chill ritual or a song that brings you back to center?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, Normally after a studio session, I'm probably listening to what we worked on that day in the car. Um, Probably not satisfied with it, knowing me. I'm probably listening to it. There's that part. There's that part. I'm texting my sound engineer. Hey, like this is what we got to work on next time. We're in here, type of thing. So I'm really never like satisfied when it comes to like leaving the studio. As far as like rituals, so I record in LA. So that's like depending on what time I leave and what time, my sessions are, it's an hour drive. So a lot of that decompression, from being in the studio, I just, turn on maybe someone I'm listening to at the time in the car. I got an hour long drive. So I think that way is the way that kind of relaxes me from, an intense recording session for sure.
Okay.
So you've been doing music for a year, right?
Yes, sir.
What's one fan reaction you got that just stuck with you?
Y'all got some good questions. This is good. This is good. Hey, all right, so Halloween last year, okay? I'm at one of my old teammates threw like a party at his house, and I'll never forget this. This is awesome, in my opinion. So I'm there, and a couple girls are kind of like, walking past me, like, "Oh, that's so and so, that's so and so," type of thing. I'm like, I'm peeping it, but no one's coming up to me. And then one by like one, two by two, girls start coming up to me, and they're like, "Oh, like, can we take a picture with you? Can we take a picture with you?" Um, and then they come to find out, I had a song called San Diego Cowgirl that was out, and I was down in San Diego for this Halloween party. And so I ended up taking a picture with a group of girls that's actually on my Instagram. And that was like the first moment where I was like, okay, I got people listening to it. I'm like, this is why I'm doing it right here. This is what I'm doing it for right here. So that was probably the first like fan interaction where I was like, yeah, this is worth it. I'm gonna keep doing this for sure.
Respect, respect.
Bro.
Now this is when Mr. GVO get deep into a lot of questions, deep questions at that. When we're gonna talk about you spiritually, emotionally, physically, see how you doing in life. So when the lights fade, the stage clear, and the noise is quiet. Who is Real Mitchell when nobody's watching?
The first thing that came to mind when you said that is, and I'm just gonna say what came to mind, then I can kind of gather my thoughts more. But the
Mm,
first thing that came to mind when you said that is like he's a dog. Like that's the first thing that came to mind. So I don't know if that's just like my name associated with whatever thoughts going on. But I mean, I'm a real chill guy. Don't really, do much. Especially like on the weekends, like your average weekend, I'm inside. Not doing much. However, like I am like a performer at heart. It's interesting whether it was like the adrenaline from playing in front of thousands of people, playing football, right, or performing in front of people. There's something about performing that there's a light switch that kind of turns on, and I love to put on a show. And so as my catalog grows and eventually as I tour, um, man, I can't wait for that because I feed off of energy. And man, I just love to perform and kind of entertain really. And
right,
so like you said, when lights are off, I'm probably just chilling on YouTube, not doing too much.
right.
Okay. At what age you start playing football?
Man, that's true. I always say as soon as I came out the womb, really, there wasn't, every recollection I have is of football. So whether it was flag, and then when I was old enough to play tackle, got into that. So ever since I could walk.
Was you always playing quarterback?
Yeah, I was playing quarterback. That was the first position I went out and started to play. I remember not wanting to though, because I remember playing and practicing with my dad, like in our house, doing like receiver drills and like, actual football stuff, not necessarily focusing on throwing the ball. And so when I first went out there, normally little leagues, they kind of put the best athlete at quarterback. That's normally what kind of happens. And so that's what they did. And I was upset because I wanted, be catching touchdowns. But guess what? When you're 7 years old, the quarterback's not throwing, 30 yards. So you're better off probably playing quarterback, and so stuck with that all the way up until my 5th year of college. Ended up switching over to more of like an athlete role, and then my 6th year, I did strictly receiver.
Has there ever been a moment where you question your path, whether in football or music? And how did you push through that doubt?
Yeah, man, faith is huge. So I ended up transferring twice in college, and this was before NIL and like you could transfer and play right away. Normally you have to sit out if you transfer without or before you graduate. So there's a lot of faith that has to come into play there where you're just trusting whatever decision you make, the Lord has it mapped out for you, and that you can just do your best and give great effort every day and every opportunity you get. And that's really the approach I took with it. And same thing with music. If I have a song and I might show it to someone, and someone I trust, and they want to give me constructive criticism, it's the same type of approach where I'm like, okay, I'll take that criticism and I'll go straight to work at it. Again, giving great effort, everything I got into making it, into improving it. So I feel like, yeah, there are a lot of times. There's times now where, like right now, I'm a free agent, and Lord willing, I'll get a call here within the next couple months. But I'm working. You best believe I'm working for that opportunity. So when it comes, I'll take full advantage of it.
That's what's up. What's one moment you remember from high school playing football?
Dude, is it? I don't know about y'all, but my memory, man, I feel like it's not that long ago, but I don't remember. I do not be remembering a lot. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Wasn't he hitting head a lot?
Maybe that's what it is. God, but I mean, shoot, I definitely remember. I was fortunate enough to win state my junior year, and that's something that not a lot of people can say. But at the time, it was just like another thing. I went to the number one school in the country, St. John Bosco, out in LA. So, and we had won state, I think 2 years before that. So winning state and winning games, that was just what it was. And now being kind of removed from that, I'm realizing everyone's not out here winning state. Like that's not an easy thing to do. Um, and so I almost wish back then I would have been more present and like more almost appreciative of the moment instead of just, treating it like it was any other game and,
Right.
Kind of just sleeping in the car ride back home type of thing. Really soaked it in.
Right.
But hey, I'll tell you what, the ring we got is nasty. It's nasty. So I appreciate that. And I do remember, and I played the best game I ever played too in my high school career, the state championship game, which was awesome. Great game to show up to. That's one thing I always kind of like can always hang my hat on, and it's honestly either you got it or you don't. And I honestly think it's like a clutch gene. It's weird. It's like when push comes to shove, or when the pressure's the highest, no matter what, I'm going to show up. Like it doesn't matter what the situation is, whether it's musically, right, athletically, whatever it is. I could be almost down and out, but I know if it's time for me to show up, I'm gonna show up, and that's something that like it not even consciously, I'm not conscious about it, but just going through my history, whether it's football games, right, or in the weight room, whatever it is, like when the odds are stacked against me, I show up, and that's something that in that state championship game I did as well.
Respect. Man, what's something you still learning about yourself even now?
What's something? And now is this just general, just about me, or?
About you, brother.
Hmm. I mean, I'm still just maturing every day. My perspectives are growing. I'm understanding how much I don't know, first and foremost, uh, and how like right now I'm kind of in a time frame where a lot of people are like starting families, right? So I'll be 25 in a month, and so my best friend, I was his best man at his wedding last year, right? And kid friends from college or having kids and starting families, and so that's something that's like interesting to like see on your Instagram feed and be like reflecting amongst yourself. My personal life, like, is that something I like? Should I be also,
Hell no. Don't rush it. Don't rush it.
know,
Don't rush
hey, hey, I hear you. I hear you. That's
Don't rush it.
that's the thing. I'm happy where I'm at, and like I don't really foresee that in
Right.
the near future at all. I really want to try and just be as successful as I can on my own before thinking about bringing independence and stuff like that. So that is something that I think is on my mental more than I probably know, and with that like maturity through that lens of trying to not only be successful now for myself, but ultimately for the family I will have, and so I can provide for them the best I can in the future. So that's kind of something. It's just growing up, becoming a man. That's really what's just happening. And so from that perspective, that's what's going on.
Respect.
What was it like meeting Deshaun Watson?
You guys must have scrolled down pretty far. Yeah. So Deshaun was cool. Deshaun was cool. This was, I think he might have been maybe a rookie at the time, where when I met him, and just won the national championship at Clemson. Oh, obviously y'all are from South Carolina, so this is right up y'all alley.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I actually never been asked about Deshaun on any podcast, so that makes sense now a little more.
Right.
But man, it was awesome. It was a dream come true. I mean, he was, and he still is, like, he's that dude. You know what I mean? And so I wasn't even a Clemson fan, but best believe I was rooting for them. However, I do love Alabama though. It's tough. It's tough. Love-hate relationship.
Roll
But no,
Tide.
yeah, there you go. My dad's from Alabama too, so that's very prevalent in my
Right.
household. But Deshaun was dope. Deshaun was dope. Was able to work out with him and try to learn from him as much as I could, especially at a younger development with my quarterback. And so it was awesome meeting him.
That's before the allegations and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good 4 or 5 years before that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I leave my dog alone, man. He good. Yeah.
hey, I ain't say nothing.
No,
I
this
could,
for the people that got them be on them. But nah, man, do you like believe purpose is found or created?
do I believe purpose is found or created? Do I believe purpose is found or created? I feel like honestly, it's probably a little bit of both. I would lean probably more towards finding your purpose. It's just everyone finds their purpose at different times, in their
Mhm.
life. Like, some people might find it when they're 12, some might find it when they're 29, some when they're 50. So I feel like from that lens, yeah, it's definitely, and I feel like you probably just like know, like when you found your purpose, like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, type of thing. And so I think that is something that's found, not necessarily created. But I mean, you could love what you're creating too. You know what I mean?
Respect.
Okay.
Good question though.
I saw you tried out for the Chargers, man. What was that experience like?
Yeah, so I was with the Chargers a little bit last preseason. That was awesome. And fingers crossed, they'll hit your boy up again here coming up. Um, I was man, I've been in and out of the Chargers buildings a couple times here. Me and Jim Harbaugh are good. I would say friends, but obviously he's a lot older than me, so I don't know if friends is the right term, but I've been with him a couple times, and he likes my work ethic and how I go about my business. And so that's something I look forward to. Hopefully, growing that relationship, and helping the Chargers this upcoming season. But the tryout was awesome. Was there with the quarterback, who was the quarterback of the San Antonio. I know it's not the Brahmas. Oh, sorry, Arlington Renegades on the UFL. He was the quarterback out there throwing to me, and so hopefully we can reconnect back out there coming up soon. But yeah, it was awesome experience.
Mm. Respect. Hey,
Mm,
man, tell me about John 14, verse 6.
John 14 point. Say again, what is it?
John 14, verse 6.
You're talking about the Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes through the kingdom of heaven unless through him. This is basically, I know I kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
but in essence, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Now, how does faith shape your songwriting, and what you hope listeners take away with it?
Yeah, man, it's tough, especially my writing now, because when you put the reps in and you get a little better at knowing how to tug on people's heartstrings and knowing like what works and what doesn't work. It's honestly tough because I want to make music that first and foremost, like, I want to bring people to Christ. That's like the biggest thing. And it's hard sometimes writing about perhaps concepts that don't align with that, while trying to stay authentic, genuine, and wanting to be able to relate to your audience. Um and so a lot of times, especially in the songs I'm writing right now, I'm trying to give them or something that's real, like addiction is a real thing, right? But also intertwine it with faith and hope, and something more than yourself. And so that's something that I'm writing with, and battling with right now, because I'm like, like, I don't curse in my songs or anything like that, right? Because I'm not trying to
Mhm.
stumble other people's faiths, you know. And so I'm battling with that as I'm writing, because again, I want to write things that individuals can relate to and that are impactful, that aren't going to stumble people's faith. So that's honestly a real thing that probably a lot of people deal with. I haven't heard any other artists speak on it like that. But that's my reality.
Respect,
Being
respect.
being a quarterback and seeing the NFL draft, how do you feel about Shador getting drafted in the late round?
Ooh, all right. Yeah, I mean, I like Shador. I watched a lot of his tape. That's the difference between some people, especially me being a quarterback. I know what I'm looking at. I know what I'm seeing. I know a good quarterback from maybe one that needs more work. And so I was really impressed with Shador. I felt like he has that clutch gene, kind of like what I was talking about earlier, where I've seen him pull out multiple wins when they had to have it. And, as an organization, that's something I want in my building at the end of the day. Obviously, his name, his brand is huge, and he'll bring a lot of attention that way. But I think as a young man and in his situation, he handles his business the right way. And that's something you want to see. It'd be different if he was, a guy that didn't handle his business the right way, that had all this limelight, and that wasn't clutch and wasn't practically made for the moment. So I would have liked to see him go higher in the draft for sure. And I'll tell you what, as a receiver, that's in the league right now, like myself, hey, that's someone I want to play for. I'll tell you that much, because I know he's accurate. I know he's gonna get me the ball, and I know when it push comes to shove, he's gonna show up. And so, that's something he's going to do great in Cleveland, and hopefully he gets an opportunity to play there for his whole career. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about it?
I don't care. I really don't care. That don't bother me.
I was looking forward to him to go at least the second round, at least.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But hey, it is what it is.
For sure.
Yeah, I really wasn't a Shador fan anyway. I don't like to be following with the waves, so I really don't care.
For sure.
I never watched Colorado, and why I don't be a fan of it, because Deion's in there. He's just another player to me. You feel me?
I hear you.
If my Eagles ain't winning the Super Bowl, I don't care what else going on.
You're an Eagles fan?
Come on now, since day one.
Who you is, man?
Nice.
Real. Who you is?
Whoever wants to employ me, that's what I'm gonna tell you.
I like
Okay,
that answer.
growing up, who was your team? Matter of fact, who's
growing up? I was a college football fan. I honestly didn't even care for the NFL. I was like college football.
Who's your favorite college football player all time? And look, you got a lot, so just give me 5.
Man. Oh my God, that's so hard. Okay, yeah, I'll be quick. I'm gonna go Tavon Austin. I'm gonna go Baker Mayfield. I'm sorry, he's iconic. He was a
dog.
I'm gonna go. I have to go Tim Tebow. Another iconic. If you were there, oh my God, Johnny Manziel, iconic. Like, that was like, come on now.
2 dogs in the college with
come on now.
Ass NFL careers.
Yeah, unfortunately. And then I don't know who's one more. Like, let's go with. Honestly, I thought Saquon Barkley, and I was going to college when he was like right leaving. I went to his game versus Michigan State, and then their last game against Iowa when he literally like hurdled this guy for the first down. Like, that was insane. Saquon in college was cheat code, and he's a cheat code now. Oh, he's an Eagles. No, whatever.
Dude, you want me to put a word in to make sure you get a little call from the Eagles? We make sure you get a ring, big dog. I know Howie personally. I was like,
I can be a 3.
For sure. Dang, man, I thought you were gonna say Cam Newton or something like that. Man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know how I freaking. Of course. Are you kidding me?
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. That was a great time to be alive too.
Nah, for real.
When I think of Cam, I more so think about him in the NFL. So maybe that's when I started to like watch the NFLs when he got there. Because when I think of Cam, I don't automatically think Auburn. I should though, because I saw him in Auburn. But when I think about Cam, I think Panthers for some reason. Oh, that was my team. I low-key loved the Carolina Panthers. That was like low-key my team just because I like as a kid, I didn't know any better. I liked Panthers. I thought the mascot was sick, and I liked the colors. But I'm from Southern California, so
That basic ass colors, you like that?
the,
Come on now. Come on now.
the blue and black and
Hey,
silver is
Hey,
tough.
no, no. First of all, Carolina is in North Carolina, so we really don't have a
hey,
team.
we
So
still
I grew up,
Carolina. We still Carolina.
ain't no we, y'all. My whole
You had to
family
put that
been an
in there.
Eagles fan.
Mm.
Hey, ain't no we, y'all. You feel me?
Come
Honestly,
on,
I
man.
went to Temple, so I was right there in Philly, so I know them. Man, them Philly fans different. Like
I
our,
100%.
heard.
our home field is Lincoln, the Link. So,
Yeah.
woo, it's
We
different
were
out
just
there.
up there. We were just up there.
For real?
We was just up there. I ain't going back no time soon, man. Their weather ain't our weather.
Man,
Our 74 degrees is not their 74 degrees.
What?
What
It's
the
different,
hell is windy?
right? Oh, don't
I'm
even get me
like,
started. And when it snows, like, I don't know, it's not snowing there, obviously, right now, but when it snowed there, like, I came from Iowa, right? So
mm,
they did a really good job because it snows all the time. Philly, it doesn't snow all the time, but when it does, I felt like they could have handled the street care way better. Like as far as like plowing the
mm.
streets and like I got stuck like 5 times. It
man.
was whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, they don't care about that.
I know they don't
See,
for
you
sure.
gotta be from Philly to drive in Philly.
Bro, another thing, there are no rules in Philly when it comes to driving. Bro, there's no rules. No,
Hell
I
no.
promise you, there's no red lights. Red light is a suggestion. It is a suggestion. It's like I've seen multiple car accidents happen right in front of me. Right, I'm like, oh my god, like what are we doing? It's crazy, crazy.
Crazy work. Crazy work, big dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was in Philly, man. Have you ever played on the 7-on-17?
Like, have I ever played on a 7-on-17?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, a couple. Yeah, a couple out here.
Have you ever heard of
That
Pylon?
was fun. Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that where we was
I
at.
got
We
a.
was out there.
Oh, I didn't know they had. I know they have like a big like pylon event in Vegas. That's one I'd go to like compete at. I didn't know. That makes sense though. They're out there now. Wow.
Yeah, they brought one in Philly now. Next month they got one in Atlanta.
Oh snap! All right, look at them
Mm.
getting branching out. What were y'all were working up there, or what were y'all doing up there?
Yeah, we were just doing a lot of interviewing with the kids, stuff like that. And you could tell like how one of them is they still learning how to talk to somebody when they interviewing, and you can see who is like professional, like, oh yeah, oh he new to this. No, he's not new to this, he's been through this shit. So they're
Right.
like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we about to do it again next month. We're gonna go down there and talk to some boys again.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yes, sir,
Yeah.
yes, sir. But quick question. This is my last question. If music stopped tomorrow and football starts tomorrow, what would still give your life meaning?
Probably that barbell. Let me see. I mean, ultimately, like I said earlier, like bringing people to Christ is the main thing, right? And have the opportunity to have football kind of get taken away from me, is a blessing because my identity for so long was wrapped up in that, and so now that that's been removed, obviously I'm doing music now, but at the end of the day, I have a much broader and clearer perspective on what's important. Certainly, sports are great, but that's not the end of the world. And so ultimately, giving back in any way I can and any platform I can is the biggest thing I want to do. And so I'd probably just be trying to break some records in the weight room at that point. You know, what I mean, I'm doing something. I'm getting after it somehow. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's the main thing. And then I actually have a question for you guys.
Talk to us.
If you guys could describe, okay, a makeup of a shot of country, what's going in your guys' shot? Now, this is not only
Hennessy and Crown.
alcohol, it can be anything. You said what?
Hennessy and Crown. We
Okay.
call that 2 to 10 down here. Cause if you listen, ladies, I love y'all. I love every shape. But if you are ugly, you are a 2. But when we take Crown and Hennessy, mix it together, you is a 10 to us. That's why we call it 2 to 10. You
That's
feel
good.
me?
That's good.
Hey,
Oh my God.
me and my brother made that up, man. 2 to 10.
2 to 10. That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
okay,
put
okay.
some little ginger ale in it. You be good, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, for
Now
sure.
that's a shot of country.
Right there. Okay.
Hey, that sounds like real. I'm about to go make one. You about to go
Yeah,
You
pull
my
one up.
listen,
2 to 10. Okay.
right. Use Hennessy, but make sure you get apple crumb so you get that flavor. I don't want you being like, damn. Now
Right.
the original one, that's for the old generation. They good with that. I need some flavor in my shit, bro. I need, I need some flavor, big dog. Yes, sir. So next time you come by, man, like, man, what you drinking on? Shit, that 2 to 10, big dog.
2 to 10. That I love that. That's so funny.
That's
That's
right.
so good.
What you got,
So
Larry? I know
real.
you got something. What
What's
you
it?
got,
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
sir.
Larry?
with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you with that, man. I like that one. I like that
one. Okay. See, sponsored by.
one. For real. If somebody want to listen to your music, man, how could they do that?
Yeah, so thank God nowadays, right, we can just stream everything. So my music should be really on any platform, whether you're on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Amazon, Pandora. It should be on everything. So you just gotta type in RE hyphen, the little minus sign, little dash, AL, and then I should pop up right there.
What advice would you
Respect,
give
respect.
somebody want to start a music career? What would you tell them?
I would tell them it's first and foremost not easy at all. It's probably one of the hardest things you're going to do, because it not only demands perseverance and the stick to itiveness of negative feedback or haters or whatever it is. I feel like and that's going to be anything you do, especially when you get to a certain level and as you become successful, you're going to have that. Another thing is it costs. It's not cheap. Especially if you want to get into the music industry, it is not cheap. Obviously, if you can get with like eventually find yourself with a label and stuff like that. But a lot of times artists are starting out independent. I would say it's not cheap. So if you can save as much as you can, to afford these recording sessions and for content, especially nowadays, very visually content driven algorithm on socials. So I'd say save a lot. Be prepared to honestly the first year to 2 years, maybe even 3 years, you're not going to be profiting. That's just not the reality of starting something. You got to think of it as being a startup business in essence. Like you're starting a brand, you're starting a business. First 2-3 years, don't expect any return on your investment, right? But if you're doing the right things and you're stacking good days, right, and you're progressing, again, giving 100% effort every day, that third, fourth year, you're going to start seeing some breakthrough. And then what's going to happen is, right, or it's going to look like it's overnight success, right? But, right, you've already been putting in the hours, years before that. So you got to stick to it. Haters are going to come, try to discourage you, and that's okay. Music is so subjective. Not everyone's going to like your song, and that's okay. That's something you really got to like come to terms with. Obviously, we're an artist. We put our heart and soul into what we're writing, and we love what we write. At the end of the day, it's not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. So, people will message me maybe some negative things. Listen, it's your opinion, buddy. That's fine. Cause I know some people are messing with it, so that's
Right.
okay. So that's those are a couple things I would say to an artist that's trying to get into the business now.
For
Respect.
real. We appreciate you for coming to chill and vibe. But before we go, let everybody know what we doing.
Chilling and vibing, baby. Chilling and vibing.
Yes,
Appreciate you, boss.
sir.
Yes, sir.